this has salt in it. Now, as you guys know, this is basically just a ripoff of Spam. You can probably, let's see if yeah, you can definitely see it from there. So this is Spam, and obviously this is great value, so this is the generic version of Spam. And this obviously, Spam is like the cheapest meat available. It's so mass-produced and so popular that there is no other meat that is more cheap than Spam, right? And then you take the cheapest meat that there is and you make it a generic, so it's even cheaper than that, right? So this is like the meat that you would get if you are absolutely broke. And so I thought, maybe I could save a little bit of money, try this out. Well, big mistake. As you can see, I literally just took one bite, and I just about retched because there is so much salt. It's like I took a tablespoon of salt and put it onto my tongue. Is this really meat? Is this really not just salt? And so I thought, there's something funny going on here. Maybe there's some artificial salt-like substance. So let's check it out. Per serving, 790 milligrams of sodium. 790. That's almost a whole gram of sodium. That's salt. That is so much salt. But maybe it's just got some big serving sizes, right? Well, 2 ounces per serving. And how many servings does this have? 6, because it's got 12 ounces. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 6 servings, okay? And that's 6 servings with 790 milligrams. I don't need to tell you that that's gonna have a lot of sodium. But, well, to be fair, this is a canned food. You gotta expect that canned food has a lot of salt, right? Well, never fear, because on this walk, I also have to bring tuna, which also supposedly has a lot of sodium. So let's check it out. This one can has 5 ounces, but if you drain it, it's only got 4 ounces. So, and per serving, 2 ounces are the serving. You've got, let's see, 180 milligrams. Not sure how well you can see it there. 180 milligrams of sodium in 2 ounces of tuna. And so that's a nice amount. For this can, that's like 400 milligrams of sodium-ish, rounding it up. Comparing that to, well, okay, actually, let's be generous. So, if you don't drain it, it's got 5 ounces. Let's round that up to 6 ounces. So, using mathematical magic, it's got 3 servings per can. Well, let's multiply 180 rounded up to 200. 2 times 3, 600 milligrams of sodium. That still is not as much as a single serving of this generic Spam. So, oh wow, I've walked all the way. Time to turn around. So, anyway, let's compare it to another supposedly high sodium product, and I also happen to have this in my pocket. Ramen noodles. So right now I'm bringing with me the shrimp variety. I would have brought other flavors, but I didn't have room in my pocket. So, in one serving, that's half a block of noodles. So let's count the entire block. Was that a penny? Oh god, that's a nail. I'm gonna set this right here. Now I know you stepped on it. Anyway, so per serving, 790 milligrams of sodium, and we're multiplying that by 2, so that's about. I'm gonna just say 2 grams of sodium again. So comparing that to my other hand, comparing that to my Spam meat, and we know that the Spam meat is like 6 grams of salt, but per serving this is only 2 grams of salt. So why don't we feel it with the ramen noodles when we do with the salt meat? It's because when you cook this the right way, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you cook it the wrong way, you're gonna feel the salt. But if you cook it the right way, you're basically gonna put the sauce in, you put the water in, you let it soak, and then you pour it out. You let the flavor soak in, but you pour out the residual salt. Not the flavor, the salt. If you do it the right way, then the flavor soaks in. So anyway, that's why you don't feel nearly as much as this as you do with that. But even if you completely ignore the fact that the sodium is excreted, it's thrown away with the ramen noodles, that's still a problem because ramen noodles are 17 cents a packet. Well, give or take, it might be more, it might be less. So, but where I'm at, it's 17 cents a packet. And if you buy them, you're pretty much broke. Probably. You're a college student and you're trying to save money. So anyway, or maybe they just taste good. I don't know what your needs are. Anyway, so you're trying to, all this cheap food and the sodium content is way too high. Like, you see those clouds up there? It's higher than those clouds. And, why is this a thing? Why can't we have cheaper, lower sodium food? I don't know. I mean, yeah, my hotel serves up a continental breakfast, but come on, man. That consists of oatmeal and peanut butter, all sorts of fruits, milk. Milk isn't quite as good of a source of protein as, for example, eggs. Eggs have a lot more protein than milk. Whether you take it whole or fat-free, it's still less protein than eggs. Bacon, okay, maybe not. It depends on your cut of bacon. But the leaner the meat, the better your content. But you don't have to deal with all the lactose. The same goes with peanut butter. Eggs are better than peanut butter because you don't have to deal with the fact that some people might be allergic to peanuts. Less people are allergic to eggs, if I recall correctly, than are allergic to peanuts. In fact, there was a big stink during, I believe, the 1980s, where lots and lots of people were getting allergic to peanut butter. Not peanut butter, peanuts. Excuse me. Anyway. So, where was I going with this? Oh, right. Another issue with the peanut butter is, again, it's cheap, and guess what? It has high sodium. And I know that I said that I get oatmeal at where I'm at. That's fine. That's easy carbs. Except we've got instant oatmeal. So, not only are you going to get a double whammy of sodium, because instant oatmeal, I believe, has higher sodium than non-instant. I mean, you got the instant, then you got the quick cooking. The quick cooking is just, you cut up the oats. That doesn't require the sodium, but the instant oats have the higher sodium. Anyway, so, where do I go from this? The only what was that? The only low sodium option there that is pretty healthy is the fruits. And if you decide to become a fruitarian, you'll become like Steve Jobs. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he died of pancreatic cancer because his pancreas couldn't handle all the fruits he was eating. He's a fruitarian. Yeah. Anyway, I just needed to get this off my chest because I went to try out some of the generic brand of Spam, and I couldn't stand how much salt was in there, and it just irked me so badly that I wanted to, before I got this out of my life, I wanted to make a video about it. And now that that's been done, I'm done.